Well, hello again. Welcome to this edition of Week in Review. I'm here with Ganem and Jay and Hannah, and today we're going to ask the question, what is a bequest? And sustaining partners, what is that? We're also going to talk about the tiers of the Loma Linda Broadcasting Network and cards and letters. Hannah tells me we got really good ones from you, and they're stacking up. So let's start with the cards and letter instead of end with them with Hannah.
Thanks, Marlon. This is one of my favorite parts of LLBN, is being able to read the letters and cards that come in from our viewers. This one here comes from Layla in Maryland, and she writes, "Brothers and sisters of LLBN, may God continue to bless you as you are a blessing to so many people. Keep up the great work, and may God guide and protect you all. Your sister in Christ, Layla."
Oh, thank you, Layla. How sweet your words are. To all of your friends at LLBN, volunteers, and also the leaders, thanks for writing.
And this other letter here comes from Francisca in Tennessee. And Francisca writes, "The programs produced are always so inspiring and Christ-centered. Lives are being transformed on a daily basis. Continue to lift up the name of Jesus, and God will bless this ministry. Sincerely, Francisca." And I really liked how she pointed that out. First, she noticed that our programs are Christ-centered, and that's what we want to do at LLBN. We want every program, everything we do, to be focused on Christ. And she says, if you continue to lift up Christ's name, He will continue to bless this ministry.
Amen.
And I think that's so true.
Well, that's been our mission for the last 20 years. It's always been about Christ, and that's been the center of gravity for the whole ministry. Donors to the ministry, volunteers and workers to support the ministry. That's how relationships lasted for 20 years through this ministry, because of Jesus.
Absolutely. So thank you, Francisca, for that letter. Last one I'll just read for today. This comes from Patsy from here in California. And Patsy writes, "Dear LLBN staff, enclosed is my check for $200 to add to others as a drop in the bucket for you to use wherever needed to keep your marvelous programs on the air. Thank you for your determination keeping these programs airing. I like LLBN the best of anything on TV. May God bless you all. Patsy."
That's really, really a wonderful thought. Patsy, by your witness, maybe it will be raining those big raindrops on LLBN. You're an inspiration.
Even the $200 is a big drop. No, it's not a little drop in the bucket.
That's right.
But it's the idea of, all these, like the ocean is made up of many, lots and lots of little drops. And there's all these little drops, whether it's $5, $10, $100, $200, $1,000 that comes in, it all adds up to keep LLBN on the air.
Well, and there's 200 drops right there.
That's right.
That's
That's
right.
almost a shower.
We're grateful. I mean, what it takes to run this ministry, it really survives on the donations from dollar bills, $5, hundreds, 200s, 500s. That's what it's taken, combination of gifts, to fulfill our needs on a monthly basis.
Exactly. Sometimes people are discouraged, I can't give a whole lot, maybe I shouldn't give. But no, every drop adds up to keep this ministry on the air.
Well, that brings us to, what is a bequest? Hannah, do you know what a bequest is?
Not really.
Ganem?
No, that's the first I've heard of it.
Well, fortunately, we have the expert that can give us the definition and tell us why we need to do it. Jay?
Yes. Marlon, people ask a lot of times, what are ways we can use to support LLBN? This is another way. It's a very easy way you can use to support the ministry of LLBN. And it's through the help of your advisor. You draft a small sentence or a group of sentences into your trust or will that includes the ministry of LLBN with a percentage of your estate or a gift amount, a specific amount, and it's basically considered an amendment to your trust or will. And I encourage everyone, of course, listening, most of you probably already have trusts or wills, but to have this drafted in, it's an easy way to support the ministry of LLBN through a bequest, which is a small change, leaving that gift to LLBN.
I have a question. So what does it cost them to do that?
Well, it depends. I mean, if you connect with your attorney or your advisor, and they will help you, walk you through it. It's usually not, it's not the cost of drafting a whole trust or will, so it's not usually a burden, too much of a burden.
So it's just a simple amendment.
Simple amendment. It's called a bequest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we also talked about sustainable partnerships. And Hannah, in this world, sustainable is the new buzzword. We have sustainable economic, so we have sustainable green programs, we have sustainable employment. What's a sustainable partner?
That's a great question, Marlon. The Sustaining Partners program we have here at LLBN is a way for our donors that encourages donors to give on a monthly basis. Of course, we appreciate the one-time gifts that come in, but there is a particular advantage when donations are set up, which we can easily do, to happen on a monthly reoccurring basis. Actually, Jay, would you like to share some of the reasons why the Sustaining Partner Ministry is a little different and maybe even more beneficial than just the one-time donations?
Yeah. A Sustaining Partner is a community of supporters that have a personal vested interest in making sure that LLBN has a budget that we can count on and we can plan around. We can see when we have these gifts pledged to monthly to help us, to support us, we can see what kind of funds we may have coming in based on those, and we can plan for developments, upgrades in the studio that are necessary. As you can see, we've done quite a few upgrades in this studio recently. And of course, planning for building projects. All of these things are important. And joining a Sustaining Partner program, it has several benefits. One is you don't have to write that check out every month, and so you can, it automatically comes out. There's other benefits too, as well, that include the peace and knowledge of knowing that you're making a difference monthly to help us plan the future of LLBN.
So these sustaining partners, they can choose projects if they want to. Let's say we have an equipment need. The equipment gets old, it needs maintenance, and pretty soon it's more expensive to maintain than to buy a new one. Can these people say, okay, I want to replace a camera, or I want to replace a screen, or...
You can always email us in addition to the setting up of the Sustaining Partner donation to say where they'd like the gift to go to. But basically, as Jay was saying, having the knowledge, the confidence that we have this contribution monthly just enables us to be able to plan to buy equipment, to plan ahead, to plan new projects, plan new programs. It gives that predictability to be able to do that. Of course, if for some reason the donor wants to stop the monthly donation, they can always reach out easily and do that. That's no problem at all. But if they can keep it going, it just helps us on the planning end, in addition to the benefits that Jay mentioned to them as well, not having to keep thinking about, oh, did I send in my donation yet? The automatic deduction takes that load off.
Well, that's a very good idea. Any other good ideas that you have, Jay?
Well, the Sustaining Partner program, of course, you can just, when you select the donation, donate button, it's a drop-down selection you can make, and it talks more about it in detail. Yeah, you see it all there. Yes, I mean, I could take the whole program, but we just appreciate our donors on a monthly basis who help us make this happen. We couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, Jay speaks for all of us when he says that. We want to thank you from the bottom and the top and the sides of our hearts, because that's how we have been here for 20 years. In fact, as long as we're talking about donations, let's ask Ganem about the tiers of LLBN. We have at least two, and the donors want to know how that money is dispersed. How is the tier system related to this?
Well, I mean, the revenue of LLBN comes solely from donors out there around the United States. And often people think when they give money or don't give money, ask us, well, you do have other funding coming from local entities. The answer is no. We have many Adventist organizations in Southern California. Locally, we have the University Church and many other churches, the Filipino churches, Azure Hill Church, Campus Hill Church. We can go through a whole list of churches that has nothing to do with our funding. They raise money to pay for their bills. We raise money to pay for our bills. We're independent of them as they are independent of us. However, we have the Spirit of Jesus in commonality of working together to create good programming. But at the end of the day, all our funding comes from the viewers out there who's watching LLBN throughout the United States. We have world viewers, but the world viewers tend not to be able to send us money because by the time you change the currency and it gets to us, it really is not going to be much and they lose a lot. So we're grateful for the donors for being so sustaining to this ministry for the last 20 years.
So we have to say thank you, America, for taking this good news of Jesus Christ saving ministry around the world to people that really can't afford to pay it. Now, we heard some charitable organizations spend up to 95% of the donors' money on administration. What is the breakdown here at the LLBN?
Well, funny you should mention 95 cents or 95%. Ours is completely the reversal. We spend 95% on outreach, on spreading the good news of Jesus, and 5 cents goes into operation. So there's a vast difference between the way LLBN handles funding as opposed to other nonprofit organizations. Now, I'm proudly to say that LLBN also has two levels of work. You know, the workforce is divided in two sections. We work all in unity and commonality. But we have professionals like you, Hannah, Marlon, and many others, hundreds of others, who comes in and serve LLBN with zero pay. We've made that choice, but we also made another choice. We recognize certain part of the operation has to be done through paid staff. We made that decision. Jay Hughes and our accountant and the finance groups we work with all are paid staff and paid organizations that we contract with them to make sure handling the finances meets the letter of the law and done with the best judgment under the best scrutinies. So we feel good. We sleep well at night. We know the financial part of it all handled correctly and well. And then, of course, that does not exempt the non-paid people from also meeting the rules and obligations or the rules and regulations of the ministry and the industry as well.
And it really helps that the administration is a volunteer administration. That's where usually the highest payroll accumulates at those levels. But, you know, in the level that Jay, excuse me, and Lily serve, that is really where it happens. I mean, that's where LLBN survives day to day. And I want to thank you for the great job that
I'm pleasure to be here.
Well, Marlon, we have 8 employees support that part of the paid activity of the organization. So we're pleased that we are able to employ that many people and hopefully more as we grow.
30 seconds left. What
Can I add
would be
something?
your last comment be there,
I just want
Hannah?
to comment again on the different ways to donate that we talked about. We mentioned a little bit earlier. If our viewers go to our website at www.llbn.tv, they'll find ways to give a one-time donation to set up to become a sustaining partner, set up a monthly donation. They'll find information on plan giving, bequest, and other things we have on there. If you don't have access to the web, give us a call, talk to our staff, to Jay, and we'll be happy to help set that up as well.
Any questions? Give us a call. Jay Hughes will be answering the phone to answer any questions that you have. Thanks for joining us for this edition of Week in Review. See you next time.